Welcome to the IPETRONIK Online Academy. This program will cover multiple segments and easy-to-follow-along videos. IPETRONIK's worldwide presence will provide support wherever it is needed. Just reach out to your local IPETRONIK office for additional assistance. IPETRONIK is currently made up of 5 business units. This video will focus on the IPEmeasure and IPEmotion products. In today's video, we will be covering a configuration of an IPEmotion RT data logger. We'll take a quick look at the available models, how to detect the hardware inside of the IPEmotion software, configuring the data logger, setting up storage options, and the mobile display configuration. IPETRONIK currently has 3 IPEmotion RT data logger models available. There are different configurations available depending on the number of input channels that are required. The IPElog2 and the MlogV3 can also be configured to support LIN inputs. The Ethos and Arcos data loggers will be converted to RT in the near future. The following example will be based on an IPElog2 connected to an M-Thermo 2.8 on CAN, a USB video camera, and connected to IPEmotion RT via the RJ45 connector on a PC. A very important component is the logger power cable. Red and black provide constant power to the data logger. Blue is the ground connector. And finally, yellow is the ignition signal that tells the logger when to boot and when to shut down. Typically, this gets connected to a component on the vehicle that only has power when the vehicle is key on. A very convenient spot could be the 12-volt plug inside of the vehicle. This will make the logger boot and shut down depending on the key on or key off status. At the same time, constant power will be provided for the logger to complete data upload or packaging of data files. Much of this user interface has already been explained in previous IPEmotion videos. This video will focus mainly on the differences when configuring a data logger. Please refer to our other videos for additional instructions. The configuration of a data logger begins in the Signals tab. Push the Detect button to detect the data logger that is attached to your computer. When successfully detected, you will see the serial number and the available inputs on the left. When the data logger is highlighted in the tree, you will also be able to see internal signals such as GPS or CPU load on the right in the Details section. To detect modules that are connected to the data logger, use the Detect and Synchronize function. USB cameras have to be added manually. Right-click on the USB input and add a video system. Each of the available input channels can now be configured to record data. Simply right-click on the channel and choose what you want to add. The following is a list and a brief explanation of the most commonly used types of recordings. Components will allow you to select Traffic, which records all raw CAN traffic coming in on the CAN bus. The signals are not decoded but can be decoded by adding a DBC file in post-processing. Adding OBD2 gives the user a list of OBD2 PIDs. Once these PIDs are selected, the logger will handle the communication with the vehicle automatically. The J1939 diagnostics feature monitors DM1 messages for any diagnostic trouble codes that might come up. Please see our J1939 tutorial for more information. The import function supports different file formats for decoding of messages. Import a DBC file to decode CAN messages. Select J1939 to choose from over 3,000 standard signals. Load an A2L file to read signals via XCP or CCP communication. ODX files or PDX containers can be loaded for UDS diagnostics. And finally, configure the logger to send data out via CAN. This can be especially useful if the information is collected and then sent to a third-party system. We will now select various internal monitoring signals for our experiment. The IPElog2 also has an access point feature. The user can connect to the access point and no longer requires a cable for configuration or data offload. Mobile devices can also connect point-to-point to show the mobile display. By default, the password is also the SSID. Internal signals include GPS signals, memory usage, CPU load, and remaining storage. The following will show how to load common files into IPEmotion. The procedure is always the same. Right-click on the input channel that you want to load the file into. This first example will be a right-click on CAN1, import DBC file, and selecting a DBC file. This will bring up another window with extended information about the available channels inside of the DBC file. Choose the channels that you want to use one by one or use the select Select All button. When importing an A2L file, there will be an additional dialog to ask whether it is XCP, CCP, or KWP communication. Again, choose your channels by selecting them one by one, multiples, or using the Select All function. If you want to monitor OBD2 signals, select Components, OBD2, and select your PIDs from the list that's displayed. The configuration of storage groups, storage, variables, and formulas is the exact same as in the IPEmotion PC version. If you would like additional information on any of these topics, go to the IPEmotion Quick Setup Guide video. Add a storage group and add the signals that you would like to save to the data logger, as shown here. Data logger can record natively into the IPEmotion or MDF4 format. Storage groups can again be triggered based off of signals or calculations, or just continuously store data. They can also be assigned an upload priority. For example, if you only want a larger file to be uploaded on Wi-Fi, you can assign a different category as if it was a file that was always uploaded through a cell modem connection. Another key difference on the data logger is the configuration of mail groups. If an email server has been configured, an alert can be sent via email if a certain condition is met. This can be especially helpful if an engineer is remotely monitoring a fleet of vehicles and is waiting for a certain event to occur. In this example, we're selecting a mail group based off of a temperature signal that exceeds 30 degrees C. The communication tabs is where the outside communication of the data logger is configured. This includes FTP servers, emails, or a timesync server. Transport of data can either happen through LAN, Wi-Fi, or a modem connection. To add any of these, right-click and add and enter the appropriate information in the details. You can set the category for each type of transmission at the bottom of the list. Our data loggers come with free access to the IPEmotion Mobile Edition app. The app runs on iOS, Android, and also in a browser window. It will display live data from the data logger through an MQTT broker and the cellular modem, or through a point-to-point connection on Wi-Fi. The Mobile Display tab helps you set up the dashboards that you want to see on your mobile devices. The drop-down menu has the screen resolution for some commonly used devices pre-configured. Create a new page and select the instrument that you would like to use to display your data. Select the Add Signals button and drop the signals that you want to see on the instrument that you've chosen. The pen icon on each one of the instruments has additional configurations for the display. If you need more space to display your data, simply add more pages. The pages can be accessed on the mobile device by swiping left or right. The pages can also be configured on the mobile device in real time while it is connected to the data logger. The acquisition does not have to stop while doing this. The following is the capture of a configuration that is performed on an iPad. In the settings of the app, the user can choose to use either a light or a dark mode, or let the software choose whichever is best suited for the lighting conditions. The configuration of the different connected data loggers takes place on the loggers page. They will then show up as a list and the user can easily switch between them. The configuration of the display pages works in the exact same way as in the mobile display tab. If your data logger is connected to the PC via Wi-Fi or an RJ45 cable, you can also use the View tab just like an IPEmotion PC to display live data. We hope that this tutorial has been helpful. If you have any further questions, visit our website or reach out to your local IPETRONIK office.